What up with y'all, man? It's the Mental Ninja. Chilling, doing my thing. Easy ass day off. Enjoyed a nice, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days off from work. Went to LA, did my thing with the MC. Now I'm back. Big dog Philly OG was cracking, homie. So, I've been noticing, like, a lot of talk on YouTube and shit with the panels and stuff, about America and like the Great Conspiracy or the who's that, what the hell's going on, this and that. And like I was on, I think Huey's channel the other day, and I was like, look, I'm gonna suggest somebody for everybody to start looking into or check out. The dude named Manly P. Hall. Yeah, he's a white man. Yeah, he's not American, he's Canadian, but he's a Freemason, 33rd degree Freemason, right? And what's up, Suave? And Peace Eric Deep. And like basically it's like this is how it works for me. If I got all these I hate yous that set up any kind of perception, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna hate everything I see. Just because a person is white, just because a person is a Mason, just because a person is short, just because a person's fat, just because a person comes from this side of the town or that side of the town, been through this or been through that, really doesn't have any weight, judgment, or weight on the character and content of what that person brings to the table. If I choose not to look at, okay, what's this person talking about? Does that sound good? Does that sound bad? How's that sit with me? If I choose to look at, well, I'm only going to judge this person not what the person talking about it, what they're doing, what their feet are doing, what their mouth is saying, but what I think about them. Then like I'm only judging my perception of them, my projection. So there's this dope ass book, right? And I read this book about a month or two, like 2, 3 months ago, and I'm gonna show it to y'all because I'm gonna read a chapter out the book, and if y'all, I'm gonna open the panel. If anybody wants to talk about this shit, it's all good. Whatever, we can talk about whatever. But basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read a chapter out of this bitch once a week. Get it in. Marty the homie, bro. Marty's the homie and shit. And that nigga, yeah, bro. Marty was like, honestly, he's like really dope because when I learned about the whole Gematria shit and the flat Earth, that shit just like really changed my fucking perception of reality, bro. It opened my mind up to a way I never thought possible. Now I'm like looking at things to see like past what I think I see. And that means I have to start fucking examining and questioning. And if I automatically have evil, then I'm gonna measure it up to evil, and it's always gonna fit. Everything good, then I'm gonna measure to good. It's always gonna fit. So I always look at everything as like neither good or evil, but to find out what's up. So here the book is right here, The Secret Destiny of America. I'm just going to read. It includes two classic works on the mysterious origins and unique mission of America, The Secret Destiny of America, and America's Assignment with Destiny. Manly P. Hall, the author of The Secret Teachings of All the Ages. All right, so I'm just going to go right to the first chapter. And I'm going to read. It's like, it'll take like 15 minutes to read this shit. All right, so, and I'm going to drop the link after that. So, the origins of the democratic ideal. World democracy was the secret dream of the great classical philosophers. Thousands of years before Columbus, they were aware of the existence of our Western Hemisphere and selected it to be the site of the philosophic empire. The brilliant plan of the ancients has survived to our time, and it will continue to function until the great work is accomplished. The American nation desperately needs a vision of its own purpose. America cannot refuse the challenge of leadership in the post-war world. Mere physical reconstruction of ravaged countries and the reorganization of political, economic, and social systems is the lesser task we will face. The larger problem and the great challenge is in how to set up a new order of world ethics, firmly established on a foundation of democratic idealism. Experts in various fields have already submitted programs designed to meet the needs of those nations. whose way of life has been disrupted by war. But with the failing common to specially trained minds, these planners inclined to think mostly in terms of their own particular interests. As yet, no one has touched the fundamentals of international ethics. No one has advanced a working plan securely based upon a broad, deep, and sympathetic understanding of the human being and his problems. The thinking has been in the dual fields of power politics and material economics, with remedies expressed in terms of charts, blueprints, patterns, and industrial programs. But there is one new and encouraging element present in most of the recommendations of today's experts. They recognize the necessity of conceiving the world as one independent structure. Yet, even they recognize the need for a unity of human interests. Their recommendations are for the perpetuation of highly competitive economic policies, which, if they are constantly applied, must lead in the end to war and discord. It is not an easy task to unite the efforts of the human race towards the accomplishment of any common goal, good. Mankind in the majority is selfish, provincial in attitude, and concerned primarily with personal success and acquiring creature comforts. It will not be possible to build an enduring peace until the average man has been convinced that personal selfishness is detrimental to personal happiness and personal success. It must be shown that self seeking has gone out of fashion and that the world is moving on to a larger conception of living. The post war planners have more idealism in their programs than has been before, have been expressed in the problem of the relationships of nations. But it is still not enough. A clear and complete statement of a world purpose is required, a world dream great enough to inspire unity of world effort. These are the days of America's opportunities. These are the days of America's opportunity to lead a still troubled mankind toward a better way of life. If we meet this challenge, we will ensure not only survival of our nation for centuries to come, but we shall gain the enduring gratitude of our fellow men, and Americans will be remembered to the end of time as a great enlightened people. It is not enough that we solve particular problems. We must solve the very cause of problem itself. Wars, depression, crime, dictators. Their oppressions are the symptoms giving clear indication of a greater ailment. To examine each problem solely in terms of the problem itself without recognition of its true relationship to a larger and more universal necessity is to fail in the broader implications of an enduring peace and prosperity. Experience showed Experience should have taught us long ago that policies which have originated from material considerations and attitudes have proved inadequate. The whole story of civilization and the records of history tell us that all such adjustments hold no hope of lasting peace or security. But here we are again, preparing ourselves to be satisfied with temporary solutions for permanent problems. The recognition is long overdue that we oversimplify the problem of world peace when we think that the problem is one of breaking the tax down for examination of its materialistic parts, and then hopefully devising an applicable remedy for each of these. The physical condition of human existence are not the whole of human problems. We could adjust all material considerations to the point of supremacist equity and yet accomplish virtually nothing solutional. The greatest of known problems is the human problem, and not until all embracing examinations is made into every phase of human needs can there be an adequate reconstruction policy for a post-World War world. That man is physical is obvious, but he is also mental and emotional. He is spiritual and he has a soul. These latter factors are not so obvious. What to do about them is not so easy, for they are difficult to understand, and even more difficult to classify and reduce to a working pattern. We, as builders of a civilization, will have to learn that only when equal consideration is given to each of these elements of man's nature will we arrive at the solutions for the disasters into which men and nations precipitate themselves. The post-war reconstructors, ours, if not our selection at least, with our consent, are not outstandingly qualified for this broader task. Few indeed are the statesmen and politicians who have any conception of man as a spiritual being. And as for military leaders, they are primarily disciplinarians, invaluable as such in times of war, but not all emotionally geared to problems of individualistic peacetime character. And world planners recruited among our industrial leaders, it must be admitted, are not generally informed on the workings of the human psyche. Those who have made the study of human conduct their life's work, the sociologists, have little scientific knowledge of the hidden springs that animate that very conduct into its amazing diversity of manifestations. And if a word is to be said for bringing in the clergy, it might be that the theologian planner who will be truly useful, will be one who acquires at least some knowledge of the science of biology. We are displaying a woeful lack of vision in the way we fumble with the eternal laws of life. It is not enough that we now hopefully create a setup permitting men to give allegiance to their minds or to serve faithfully with their bodies. We must someday face the truth that man is inevitably and incurably an idealist. For this is the truth that will set us free. Man's need is for the idealistic content of his nature to be properly nourished. Then his whole consciousness will impel him to right action. And then no more will our laws fail, treaties be broken, and the rights of men stand violated. The American nation desperately needs a vision of its own purpose. It must conceive it in a generous idealism, great and strong, enough to bind thoughtless and selfish persons to something bigger than themselves. It must recognize that it is in the intangible ideal that the foundations are laid for all seeable good. Must know that the truly practical course and the course of hard realism for America is the one that is laid basically in a generous idealism. This is more than an indicated course. It is one that we inevitably must follow, guided by the hand of destiny. Believing this to be so, I dedicate this book to the proposition that American democracy is part of a universal plan. Our world is ruled by inflexible laws which control not only the motions of the heavenly bodies, but the consequences of human conduct. These universal motions, interpreted politically, are impelling human society out of the state of autocracy and tyranny to democracy and freedom. This motion is inevitable, for the growth of humans is a graded development of mind over matter, and the motion itself represents the natural and reasonable unfolding of the potentials within human character. Those who attempt to resist this motion destroy themselves. To cooperate with this motion and to assist nature in every possible way to accomplishment of its inevitable purpose is to survive. Thousands of years before the beginning of the Christian era, many enlightened thinkers discovered the will of God as expressed through nature in the affairs of men. They made known their discoveries in terms of religions, philosophies, sciences, arts, and political systems. These first statements are now the admired monuments of ancient learning. Available to men of today, they are generally ignored. Years of research among the records of the olden peoples available in libraries, museums, and shrines of ancient culture has convinced me that there exists in the world today, and has existed for thousands of years, a body of enlightened humans united in what might be termed an order of the quest. It is composed of those whose intellectual and spiritual perceptions have revealed to them that civilization has a secret destiny. Secret, I say, because this high purpose is not realized by the many. The great masses of people still live along without any knowledge whatsoever that they are part of a universal motion in time and space. Pythagoras, Plato, Aristotle, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad are among the greatest names recorded in history. But it is not customary to regard the men who bore these names as statesmen or sociologists. They are thought of as philosophers, sages, seers, and mystics whose doctrines have no application to the political needs of an industrial civilization. Yet, it is men like Plato and Buddha who still exercise the most powerful force in mortal affairs towards the perpetuation and preservation of a civilized state among all nations. All of the great leaders of the ancient times realized and taught the establishment of a state of permanent peace among the nations, dependent upon the release of human ideals, but through properly trained and disciplined minds capable of interpreting these ideals in terms of the common good. World democracy was the secret dream of the great classical philosophers. Towards the accomplishment of this greatest of all human ends, they outlined programs of education, religion, and social constructs and social conduct directed to the ultimate achievement of a practical and universal brotherhood. And in order to accomplish their purposes more effectively, these ancient scholars bound themselves with certain mystical ties into a broad fraternity. In Egypt, Greece, India, and China, the state mysteries came into existence. Orders of initiated priest philosophers were formed as a sovereign body to instruct, advise, and direct the rulers of the states. Thousands of years ago, in Egypt, these mystical orders were aware of the existence of the Western Hemisphere and the great continent which we call America. The bold resolution was made that this Western continent should become the site of the philosophic empire. Just when this was done, it is impossible now to say. But certainly the decision was reached prior to the time of Plato. For a thinly veiled statement of this resolution is the substance of his treatise on the Atlantic islands. One of the most ancient of man's constructive ideals is the dream of a universal democracy and a cooperation of all nations in a commonwealth of states. The mechanism for the accomplishment of this ideal was set in motion in the ancient temples of Greece, Egypt, and India. So brilliant was the plan, and so well was it administrated that it has survived to our time and will continue to function until the great work is accomplished. Philosophy set up its house in the world to free men. Philosophy set up its house in the world to free men by freeing them of their own inordinate desires and ambitions. It saw selfishness as the greatest crime against the common good. For selfishness is natural to all who are untutored. It recognized that the mind has to be trained in the laws of thinking before men can be capable of self rulership. And it knew that the democratic commonwealth can be a reality only when our world is a world of self ruling men. And so it is from the remote past, from the deep shadows of the medieval world, as well as from the early struggles of more modern times, that the power of American democracy has come. But We are only on the threshold of a democratic state. Not only must we preserve that which we have gained through the ages of striving, we must also perfect the plan of the ages, setting up here the machinery for a world brotherhood of nations and races. This is our duty and our glorious opportunity. It seems to me that the basic plan for the post-war world should be one solidly founded in the great dream of universal brotherhood. It is not enough to work on the problems solely in terms of politics and industry. The formula must express a broad idealism, one which appeals the finest intuitions of man, and one universally understandable by all who have lived, dreamed, and suffered on this mortal sphere. So that's chapter one, right? I'm open. I'm gonna drop the link so we can start talking about it. This is gonna be chapter two. I'm gonna do that probably like next week or another time and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload um reading. So if you want to read it or go ahead and go over it, listen to whatever, and then we talk about it in case you come in later on during the build or whatever, you can have some understanding and have anything you want to talk about with it. So chapter two will be the world's first Democrat and who that look like. My nigga, my nigga. Oh, that's my nigga, my nigga. I cannot this shit. This is a dope ass book, bro. Like honestly, when I read this book, I was like, oh my god, I'm about to get the super Masonic secrets and shit, man. And it's like, I know a lot of people like, oh, they hear the word Mason, they just become so fucking violently agitated and shit. And I know a lot of white people hear the word fucking black BLM, they do the same shit. So like the end result is the same fucking violent agitation. But what I'm trying to say is like, there's stuff in here to find. There's something to learn in all things if the motherfucker want to. So let me find. Okay, hold up. Let me do this thing. Boom. Copy the clipboard. Post comment. Fuck. Give me a sec. All right, let's post the link and shit. So anybody want to hop up on here and shit, we could talk about this or like just the idea. Look, I'm gonna show you. I got hella books. I was like thinking about what book I wanted to do, but I got this book too. I was thinking about doing Solomon, the Key to Solomon's Key. But like everybody's pretty much been talking about, saying this like all these books. I got some dope ass books that I want to go into, not this one. It's just like another book I want to do too is some shorter books and shit. When we get a chance, like I got to do the Kabbalion and shit, or because these books are hella short right here. Then we can talk, I can read those and we can discuss them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole idea is, what I'm saying, is just getting a center point where we can start getting inspiration and thought from, right? You know what I'm saying? I got hella books, bro. They're pretty dope and shit. Got this one too. Hermetic Codex to the Illuminati. And this actually was written by a nigga from the Illuminati. This one and that one too. This nigga went back to Christianity, but he was still able to fucking like, what I'm saying, to a degree, bridge both the two systems and shit, which really is all the same at the end of the day. Yo, but peace, Huey P, Eric Deep, everybody and shit. So yeah, man, anybody want to hit that link? Come up, chop it up real quick for a minute, whatever. That shit open. Yeah, but this book right here, man, like I'm gonna say this dude, Manly P. Hall, like this nigga in that chapter we just read, he was saying literally, and I'm gonna show you some shit too. I'm gonna show you some shit too, bro. Like there, what I'm saying, like he gets into some deep ass shit, like how in the coming chapters, about hold on a second. Yeah, what up, Huey?
What it do, family? What it do? Mental Ninja. What it do to
Chilling.
everybody in the chat? What's up with y'all, man? Hey, bro. Yeah, man, that book, it sound like everything we doing on it.
So like, and this is why I'm doing this shit, bro. Right? It's like I'm a manipulative, fucking thinking, motherfucking alcoholic nigga, right? And I know that most of the people that we do these panels and chats with, like, I'm not gonna bullshit, bro. I see a lot of like when a motherfucker look at me, I'm in the store, they start following me around because I'm black, I got a backpack on and shit. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden I'm up to something. I kind of feel like they look at me like I'm a conspire, like some kind of conspiracy and stuff. I see a lot of that shit and like in our platforms, our channels we be in, you know, motherfucker, oh, if they're white, that means automatically evil. I even heard niggas say that white people are aliens and shit to suggest that my son is like half alien and shit. Like I had sex with a real alien and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like the whole if you're a Mason, that means automatically you're evil and shit. And it's like, really, is it the person that's evil because they said something that you think is evil, or is it your thoughts? Is it just your thoughts that are fucking evil? You feel me? So that's why what I want to do. Oh, there go drop. What up, my nigga?
Oh shit, man, cooling out,
What up,
man.
drop?
Shit, man, staying out the way, man. How y'all feeling, man?
Shit, chilling.
What it do, drop?
How y'all shit chilling, man? What's going
Yep.
on with y'all? Y'all. Hey, what's up with the so you did you take an oath to something? And and if you did or didn't, would you be able to say the people that did take the oath, what that oath was?
Well, if if somebody takes the oath, like to solemnly swear, and it's like a promise, you know, not to do something or do something and shit, then I would like expect them to hold themselves up to that oath. Why take it then? Why just say, why just be a liar and be like, oh, I promise I'll do this and do it
No,
anyway?
no, no, no. No, I'm saying, what is the oath? What is they take in certain?
Like,
Because you know,
like
it's a lot of different oaths. I'm saying, you know, what oath I'm talking about. What is that? Do you know?
I mean, look, like I got to choose my words, right? So the oath is because like the thing is, bro, is like
Never
when I
mind,
talk
man.
about
Don't
the
worry
oath
about
shit, right? Is like I think that it's important for other people not to spoil it for other people that want to learn it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to like just give it to me, like nigga, like you want to get $1,000,000 out earning it and shit, like just give you $10 right now, I don't even know you and shit, you ain't prove yourself worthy and shit, or would you like a motherfucker to earn their paycheck, earn their keep, earn their trust in the hood? You know what I'm saying? That's the nature of the oath is supposed to be something similar to that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like a nigga can make a like, look, they can kidnap my girl, and you got two niggas like we gonna make an oath not to let nobody know where the girl at, so motherfuckers don't catch us and we don't go to jail. So oath is just an oath. It's what kind of oath and what you're doing with it and how it affects and hurts people, really. But like this dude right here, Manly Hall, right? Like this nigga is probably the greatest thing that Freemasonry probably ever would ever produce. We're not going to ever have anybody, probably pretty much in any secret society in the next 150 years, the past 100 years, that can compare to Manly Hall, bro. This nigga was for real, for real, for real. He was no angry ass nigga. He just did the research. He investigated a lot of shit. He had a lot of fucking good reputation, so he was able to get to a lot of investigative places and shit. And he just did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And like you'll get a pretty healthy truth from him because he's done a lot of work for us. Before we even had Google, this nigga was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, is he a Mason? Is he evil? Well, that's to the individual to assess for themselves. Yo, peace, Leonardo.
What's good, brothers? How y'all doing?
Chilling.
Yeah, I rather, how can I put it? Read books like that than the Bible and all that other shit. That book got more knowledge in it than any of that other shit.
Well, look, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. Look, just the Bible, that shit was like, I could question things in it, But until I found other writings by other people who also asked questions and also came up with some answers, started looking at shit, it wasn't until then so I could start going back and now understanding the Bible and shit. But the Bible, like, I heard a quote that anybody who reads the Bible and takes it literally must be mad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just, so, like, the dude Manly Hall, though, like, this nigga has, like, on YouTube, this thing has, like, 70,000 hours of lectures, like, a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? This is all from, like, fucking almost 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And, but if you want to break down in the Bible what that shit means, that's the nigga to fuck with. He gonna give you the truth. You know, how with all the deeper mysticism in it.
Yeah, I got you.
And look, the thing is, like, Manly Hall is so well respected that the niggas, like, untouched. Like niggas, the Christians, they hear about it, they don't fucking go against it. They heard that Manly Hall was like a really good dude. Some are gonna be like, oh, he was a mystic, and you know what mysticism means? That means the work of the devil type shit. Some fucking fantastic shit, you know what I'm saying? But Manly Hall, basically, he's the one who created the first idea of the Library of Congress, and he has so much fucking works and books that he's collecting them all, and he housed them all in one spot. Like, he's done the greatest work that we've had as far as the library since the city of Alexandria, that Alexander the Great did. You know what I'm saying? And that's in LA and the Theosophical Research Society. You can just go there and shit and hang out and just read fucking millions of books. But like at the end of the day, too, with this book right here, there's like, because we're taught, like, this is my thing, right? Like, would I rather be alive today, or would I rather had lived like a fucking Native American, nigga? You know, live like an African, or, you know, like naked and shit, nigga. And I ain't trying to live naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm directly linked to this slavery and this conquering of a land and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't want to live in a fucking culture where, nigga, I lived in a cave, nigga. I had to throw fucking spears at animals, nigga. But if I lived like that, I wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know about this kind of future and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when I look at the who's to blame, you know what I'm saying, this great conspiracy, like, I can't even be like, oh, I'm mad that our people were enslaved, because, nigga, if that never happened, I wouldn't never be here. Like, no bullshit. If I ever, like, had any fun in my life, then I justify, I'm glad I'm here. The love for my parents, the love for my son, the love for my friends and family, the experience that I've had and shit. So, am I against it or not? Now, the thing is, like, would I do that to other people? Well, no, I wouldn't and stuff. So, the only thing I need to do is, like, not do what I don't believe in and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then one thing, too, is, like, not enslave other people to accept my beliefs automatically as some kind of doctrine and shit. But this whole secret destiny of America, for me, it helped me get an understanding of, like, what might have been. Because I can neither confirm nor deny if this is the truth or not. But the ideal democratic civilization of a peaceful nation and shit, where everybody is working together, where people aren't selfish and hoarding all the fucking resources and stuff. That's essentially what it's supposed to be like, right? Now, of course, we can see that it's not like that today. At the same time, well, because everybody else ain't doing it, can I still participate in a world that I feel should be a freely given, you know, not hoarding all the resources and shit? You know, if they're not going to do it, at least I can do it for myself. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of fulfills the idea of this democratic democracy, this worldwide thing that we're talking about. What up?
Yeah.
Swamp?
Hey, what's up? Can y'all hear me, or is my shit muted?
No, you good.
No, you good.
I just wanted to make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah. If anybody listens to Rita, man, what was your thoughts about the shit that he was talking about? Oh, really?
To be honest, which I had to. change that oil real quick in my truck, so I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. But I was in the comments and saw the link, so I decided to go ahead and hop on.
For sure. I hear you
Yeah,
about to say
well, it
something.
sounds like basically it sounds like the same thing that we are out here doing. Literally, like it was set in motion by that pen being in motion. By him putting his pen in motion with that thought process, it catapulted into where we are at right now. And this is what we are doing, like sort of like forcefully. It's just something that was in the ethernet that we all had caught a wind of. You know what I mean? Like the scent and the smell of his thought, of the thought process what that came from, which is what we are. It's just in us. It was in us. You know what I mean? Like I hear Cook say this all the time, bro. It ain't like we had to take the oath to be to have the knowledge. Some of it was just in us, and we just find our way. We just out here walking our path, and we find our way because of the path. You know what I mean? Like if you just walking in the path on the dark, you're gonna find your way wherever you end up at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. Like, you know, the whole thing about like taking an oath, right? Somebody got an echo on this shit, but the whole thing about taking an oath, right, is like only because of like our modern day thoughts, like relative, like the past like 10, 15 years of masonry is the only way a lot of people are against the oath. And it's like, hey, whoever got that sound and shit, can you mute your mic real quick? But like,
That's drop.
hey, drop,
You got
mute your mic, bro. It's
mute
like
him.
you fucking swimming and shit.
Now, so that nigga Drop stay in the projects, bro.
You got to mute him, bro. Mute him yourself.
Yeah,
Melanin.
hold up. Boom. All right, so
Yeah. Drop. No, he
like
be doing
let's
that
say
shit. He
like
trolling.
no, it's all good. So like let's say like I learned something, right? This how I'm starting to perceive wisdom, right? As if it had a personality. Wisdom's gonna be like, all right, mental ninja. You say you want to learn this shit. You want to find out what's going on. I'm gonna give you a little bit here. I'm gonna see what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you know, mental ninja, that whatever I give you, there's a benefit. It's a gift and a curse, but it's all in how you use it. If you use the right way, then you'll be blessed. If you use the wrong way, then you curse yourself. At the same time, the blessing might feel like a curse, and the curse might feel like a blessing. Now, once I engage in that in this understanding, like as if wisdom was like an actual motherfucker that's actually speaking to me, or like this how this like contract work and stuff, then I'm pretty much obligating myself that I'm gonna this the karmatic law. You know what I'm saying? What goes up must come down. That's an oath. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's like a person that's like I'm against completely taking oaths. It's like nigga, that's an oath right there. So nigga, like you just took one, and so like I take an oath. I'm never gonna take an oath. Like nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah, you saying what going to work every day when you sign that contract and you get up every day and you go bust that check, that's an oath.
What was that?
I said, so you saying like, like when we get up and go to work, we took that contract to go to work and then to bust that check every weekend or every payday, that's an oath, an obligation.
Pretty much. I mean,
something that we stick.
Yeah, it's your obligation to do something.
Right, same thing like a contract, paying bills, or a rent lease, a lease. You know what I mean?
And at the same time, like, look, like this is for me. I was like, okay, like the idea of the oath, because I was against the masonry shit too. All the secret societies, I didn't know nothing about it, and all the things I heard was bad. And all the people that were talking about that I was paying attention to were like kind of like biased. They had one narrative they was kicking. I'm like, well, damn, that's fucked up. Well, they have to be bad if these people are talking bad about them. It's like basically all bad Reddit reviews by the guy who the people they own Reddit, and they're putting all they're like letting all the reviews they want to come through right on their platforms and shit. So I didn't like the idea of the oath and shit, and then that shit scared me too before I took my oath in OTO. But then after I took, I was like, oh, I get it now. What the fuck is that's? It's simple. It makes sense. But before, I realized that you know why I was against the oath or against any kind of obligation? Cause nigga, I'm not dependable, bro. Like, I'm irresponsible, nigga. You can't depend on me for shit. I'm not accountable. You know what I'm saying? So like, the oath kind of holds me to to myself, to my own word. And like, that's like something for a long time I was unwilling to do. But now I understand it and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Giving you accountability, holding you accountable.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's all that it really is. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't, and curiosity killed the cat. Basically, what you saying, your curiosity killed the cat. Because one thing I do notice, either either you been in it or you ain't been in it. And on the outside looking in, you can say what it is or what it ain't. You always can say it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, but if you ain't over there and did it, man, you can't say what was good or bad about it. You just had a perception of it. And you ain't never went in there to see for yourself, so you don't know what was the good part of it. It might have been bad for somebody, the good that they was doing. You feel what I'm saying? Just like you was just saying, it's like on one hand you could think that it's a positive, but that positive might be a negative. So you got to be ready to feel that, or it might feel like it's a negative, but it might be positive. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to be able to recognize. Recognizing is key. Being
Yeah, you
able
have
to
to
open
learn
your eyes
somehow.
and really, and experience is the best teacher. You feel what I'm saying? Experience be the best teacher because you got to go through it. You live in the moment. You learn in the moment. Oh shit!
What you about
The
to say, Joe?
mom. The moment is the mom. The mom entertainment, which is mommy. We inside of the entertainment of the flesh. The mom, the mommy, moment, momentum. Go ahead,
That's
Doc.
for real.
Hey man,
Go ahead.
hey, you got the fish? Are you in this fish tank with the fish?
Yeah, because all I was going to say, yes, I took an oath when I went in the military, but once I realized what was going on, fuck that oath. It's about my people. I still can act like I took that oath, but that oath
Yeah, like
is hurting my people. So fuck that oath.
And I think
no.
really
So
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, bro.
Hell no, this your shit. Go ahead, bro.
No, so like what I was saying, like Leo, like I'm not as like I know you said that one time you said I took an oath and people like jumped down your throat because you said the OATH word. That's the only thing they're mad about is the word. It's not about what the word means or what do you do with it. It's the word itself because they've aligned it with Masons or with secret societies or with this or that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if your girl be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be with you as long as you don't cheat on me." Do you accept those terms? And you're like, "Fuck yeah." And once you do it, you've broken your word. It's the same shit. We can change the letters up and make it into a fucking whatever we want, but we're talking about the same thing. Is can you be trusted? And when you took your oath in the military and shit, you took for what you believed was the right thing to do. And that thing changed, right? But there was an oath you took to yourself was to do the right thing. That's the oath. The oath to yourself is to do the right thing and help.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and for me, I'm in the OTO, and I'm gonna be a Mason one day. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna take the oath. I know the oath is to myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's as dear to my heart the way I take it. Some people will take the oath and they don't even care about it. They're like, okay, now how can I get to the riches? How can I get to the bitches and shit? They go, yeah, I'll say whatever I want to say and shit. But I'm trying to come up because they're selfish. You feel me?
Man, the oath is all about you. It ain't about, these different people, nor is it about the organizations. Who cares? You took the oath. It was you. It's not me. It's outside of me. It's you. So, moving forward, the ultimate oath you're supposed to take is with yourself anyway. For the people who are against taking an oath, you took an oath to be you, the true you, yourself, every day, and you're supposed to uphold that oath. You feel me?
Exactly. And they're like at the same time too. Like let's look at okay, we talk about flat Earth, right? Right? Or we talk about the heliocentric Earth. There's always some form of like this gravitational pull, this magnetism, right? that draws one thing into something else. In a flat earth, it's the magnetic north, the true north, whatever, the North Star, whatever, the North Pole and stuff. We're all being sucked to the North Star, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or and then the heliocentric gravity holds down. And that's the thing. The mystic, because he said something in the reading about a mystic tie and shit. And that's exactly what we term it in what the mystic tie, that once you get into a secret society or order, you're part of this mystic tie. And what is the mystic tie? Is like you've done something that a bunch of other people have also done. So you're connected by that itself. Like we're all born into this world. So we're all mystically connected through birth. You know what I'm saying? We all speak English on this panel. So we're mystically connected. The mystic tie connects us through the language. You know what I'm saying? So if basically it's whatever the oath is, just like you said, man, you woke up this morning, man. As soon as you open your eyes and took a deep breath, you were conscious. That's an oath. Like, okay, I'm a live the day. You know what I'm saying? If I die, that's part of the oath too of life. Death is, is like, up is part of the oath of down. You know what I'm saying? We can look at it like that. It's like, oh, we're talking about cause and effect. That's what the oath is. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I violate some natural laws, which is like breaking an oath or breaking like a law, then I'm gonna receive some of the punishments or consequences of what happens. And look, I'm gonna say this: consequence don't mean bad. It don't mean unfavorable, and it don't mean favorable. It means both. Like, what's the consequences of knocking a fine ass chick? You got a fine ass chick, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What's the consequences of knocking that fine ass chick and cheating on her? You might lose the fine ass chick. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about our obligation is to like go through the bullshit and the good shit.
Me and my girl go back and forth.
Yes,
When it
Lord.
comes to good consequences and bad consequences. I've tried to explain to her there's really no such thing as neither. But if we want to use it, just for semantics, there is a such thing as good consequences for an action, and there's a bad consequence for an action. It's no different.
Oh, for sure. Like, look, because this is how I look at it, right? You can make a mistake and it fucking be a costly mistake, but how costly is how much is the cost to learn? That's the real shit. Like, nigga, if I want to learn, that means first of all, I have to admit that I don't know what I want to learn. And if I don't know what I want to learn, how the fuck do I know that I need to learn? So I gotta make myself like completely. I gotta separate all these fucking wants and wishes and selfish desires and stuff. Like, all right, man, what you got? And I learn it. If I can repeat it, then I might make a mistake. But if I make a mistake, I can gather myself and try it again. I might get it right the second time, the third time, the fifth time, whatever. Like Edison said, I didn't invent the light bulb. I invented 1,001 ways on how not to invent the light bulb. So basically, that's like reverse engineering. And when it comes to experience, it's basically reverse engineering. We do the things wrong as many times until we get it right. So what are we trying to reverse engineer? Life itself. Like it's the negative to the positive of God. You know what I'm saying? For him to be so God, he has to also have himself as anti-God. So he can reverse engineer and learn from himself without actually being reminded that it's him that's learning from himself. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, to me, what it sounds like you saying, it's like throwing something in a body of water. When that once it goes down in there, you get the swell, down below, then you get the swell up top. But you got that little droplet that kind of sets itself apart from everything else to experience everything outside of itself, and then it goes right back into itself.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, ash to ashes, dust to dust. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter, you can put water in any kind of shape. Once it has the opportunity to, it's going to find its level. Even while it's inside that shape, it's in constant motion to find its level. And then once it finds its level, it's in constant motion to keep its level. And like such is the state of the human consciousness or the human experience and shit. Like all these different things happening all around us. That's why in the reading, Manly P. Hall said that there is a secret destiny. There's a secret guiding hand through the universe and shit. It's connected with the stars and the planets and the people and all these things. And it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense, but where can I see that happening? Like, go outside and look at the clouds. You're looking at a weather system. Look at the trees. You're looking at a system of growth. Look at the sun and the moon operations. You look at a system, and it has a design to do what it does and stuff. So if you can find systems in everything you look at, then you can might understand like there is a meaning to all this. There is a place that we're headed to. So like, for me, like, what about all this evil shit, all these evil people? Like, I don't fucking even know none of them. Except for my homies and shit. They're not evil, but like, nigga, we ain't always the best type of people. You know what I'm saying? But the rumors of these evil Trumps and these people I've never met and these evil kings and these people meeting in these fucking secret dugouts or hideouts or caves or mansions or whatever that I do not know. The only person I'm left with is myself. So like, is there even a secret person inside myself that's hiding? You know what I'm saying? And that's like, what about this selfish behavior you got going where you fucking cut motherfuckers off in line or fucking take something that don't belong to you and shit? You know what I'm saying? If you can get past that shit, you're moving closer and closer to this, to be in line with this natural evolution of how the universe is ordered. Because if you don't, you're gonna go against it. It's gonna fucking destroy you because that's what it's designed to do. And if you go with it, it's gonna grow you. But you still die in the end anyway.
That sound like karma you explaining.
You said it sound like what again? Say that again, brother.
It sound like karma. You know, they say, well, go around, come back around, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, like the vehicle, like just going back and forth, like back, forth and forth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then at the same time, it's like jumping out of the jumpers. Yeah, like Mortal Kombat, new Saibot. When the spirit, you able to run around yourself, you ready to jump out yourself, and you can run around the corner, and you was looking at yourself, and you was hiding for yourself, and you was looking like, man, I see you. You know what I mean? Like, it's the craziest shit where you could be like, you feel like you inside of you, but you know that you everywhere. Like, you can notice that the flower, or like, say, like, I'm sitting right here, and I'm like standing in my kitchen, I got this flower pot right here in front of me, right? And I'm like looking at it, and I can feel it looking at me. You know how you can feel all eyes on you, and you can just feel all of the eyes on you all around you, because everything is saying that it's watching you. He never just feel like being watched.
And you know, the first time I ever did mushrooms, and I've only done them one time, so that first and only time, I did them. I really didn't know what to expect. I was in a hotel room, and I took a shower and everything. And at the time, I was up there in Maryland. It was very cold outside, snowing. So I took the mushrooms, took a shower when was kind of sitting around. So all of a sudden, it hit me, and then I had the urge to walk outside. So I got up and I walked outside, and as soon as I walked out, it's like outside to the shit that is not contained. You know what I'm saying? It felt like, man, the same thing you saying, man. It felt like I could see things, and it was like the outside kind of cloaked me, kind of hugged me, kind of to let me know, like, we're here for you. Like, it's hard to explain, but I can feel what you're saying though. It's kind of like you look over there at the trees. It's kind of like they're waving at you, even though the wind is blowing. But it's kind of like the trees, they're waving at you.
Yeah, bro, you saying it, bro. Yeah, like holding you, right? Like they grabbing you, like they hugging you, just like you said. It feels like this. Have you ever feel like the sky was coming down, like it was laying on you, like it was laying on you, like? It's like, damn, man, I don't know how to explain it, bro, but it feel like you wrapped up in it. It got you snug tight. It's like you in a blanket, bro. I swear, bro. It's just like,
hey, man, I ain't mean to cut you off, man, but I just got excited. The best way I can explain it is,
me too, bro.
Like, when the king get up from his throne, and his servant put that cloak around him. Or when them NFL players run to the sideline, and that trainer's got a cloak that they put on them to keep them warm. It's like that's what the outside did to me when I stepped out there.
Hey, you know what? Like when we talk about Joseph, like in the Bible, they got Joseph's amazing technical Joseph's dream coat, whatever, right? This special coat and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like what happens for me too, like I'll walk outside and all of a sudden, bro, it's like everything is okay. Everything is okay. I don't know what the fuck was not okay, but just like I feel it. I feel the connectivity. I feel like the whole world was just created for me to like, yeah, this is it. This is fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Those times are like fleeting sometimes, like because most we're stuck in the rat race and the chaos and the unbalancing act, trying to find the level and all that stuff. But then every once in a while, man, I'll go step outside, or I'll get on my bike, or I'll go through a situation. I was like, man, you know what's that? Everything's okay, and I'll feel it. I'll feel like it's as if the air around me just gave me a big ass hug. Like I know, my nigga, everything is okay. We got your back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, damn, is that always happening? And I'm not noticing it. Like I'm always getting information from my eyes. That's always getting information from outside itself. The air is always making sure I got something to breathe. You know what I'm saying? The world's always making sure I got something to eat. You know what I'm saying? It's always got something. I'm gonna get if I'm too hot, they got some cold for me. If I get too cold, they got some warmth for me and shit. I ain't gonna be just falling endlessly into a void and shit. They got the ground to keep me up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna fucking fly so hard I bump my head or go out into space, whatever the fuck it might be. So it's all set up right, and I'm right in the middle. I'm protected. You know what I'm saying? But the mind gets scared and shit. Like I'm on the bike, like oh my god, what if a car pulls out in front of me and shit? Like bro, if that's what happens, that's what happens. But that ain't happening. So what the fuck you worried about? And it's like, look, like we're talking about karma, right? What if karma, gravity, and magnetism was all talking about the same fucking thing?
It does, bro. This is what I was realizing earlier, bro. And listen, like, okay, like I was saying, bro, the jinn and the jinn is what they would say, Satan, Satan. And in the Quran it said the jinn, Satan, Satan. So the jinn is the origin. We always talk about what is the origin of everything. The origin is the original all. It's all the origin of all. The original. The origin of all is the original all. So everything goes back to the origin of it all. Like it's the original word. It was like everything goes back to that. Just like
Oh, for sure. Like the snake that eats its own tail, man. You know what I'm saying? Like every day goes back to night, and every night goes back to day. Or actually, it goes from day to morning to day, morning to noon to day to dusk, or to evening to dusk to night to morning to noon to day to evening to dusk. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still stuck in the system and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's not a bad thing because we're not always noticing that we're stuck in the system. You know what I'm saying? Because then we're stuck in noticing it or we're stuck in not noticing it, but we're always stuck somewhere. But we have a different idea of being stuck, right? And if gravity being drawn to something, pulled into something, and magnetism being pulled or repelled, like that almost sounds like karma. You know what I'm saying? What goes around comes around. So what is karma?
come
Oh, it's from
around, yeah,
what
sticking is being stuck. Like, like to stick to your oath is sticking. So you stuck to it. So you was like glued to it, like the tube, like you was tuned in. You feel me? Like you sat, you was stuck, you stuck, you're sticking.
Yeah, like honestly, religion, religare, you're bound to it. To tie it back or to bind, it doesn't always mean something bad. But when we talk about indirect reflection of what religion is and what we think of it, then we can say it's either good or bad. People are going to say religion's good. People are going to say religion's bad. Can it be both? What we're talking about, their perspective and their experience with it. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing is like, does that actually mean that it's good or bad? What it does mean is like people think it is and people think it isn't. People have good experience, people have bad experience. So it's both, right? But the thing is, what goes around comes around. So you can have good and bad and good and bad and good and bad. But what goes around and comes around, where are they coming around? What's in the middle of all this? And it's like that's the origin. Or the aura, Jinn. The Jinn aura.
The Jinn aura, the aura of the Jinn. Wow, that's crazy, right? So then I was thinking about the damn Baphomet, right? And the, the animalistic nature and how it combines with different things. I was thinking about the pig, how it, the rat and the possum and the pig, you know what I mean? And then how they correlate, you know, because the rat be the snitch talking to the pig, you know what I'm saying? But he got to play possum to get the information. You know what I mean? So,
Hell yeah.
right? So, like, is the pig the little? If we looking at the pig, is the pig the Baphomet? It's why we eating the pig is the Baphomet. I mean, it's possible.
Like, technically, I guess yeah, because like the Baphomet itself is like it's symbolic towards to man and nature. Like we think it's like some evil thing, some guy like to literally believe there is a nigga somewhere in the world that looks just like that. That's a real fucking like. Are you even? It's like insane. You know what I'm saying? But to understand like what was talking about the nature of the man or human mankind and the nature of nature, the man of nature. Both, you know, the you have the nature and the human, you got the human and the nature and stuff because they're intrinsically linked and shit. And like the goat, that's the man, that's the animal to man, the animal in you. We are mammals. We are functioning systems just like fucking pigs and goats and donkeys and rats and birds and bees. We all have the same system that shows our link, right? But then there's like all the other things too. All of the things of that imagery is showing us like what separates us from the rest of the world, but it doesn't separate us either because we're interdependent on these things. But what it is like, maybe we are just another aspect of how the universe has designed a way so it can be dormant and then come to awakening within its own self. And like, and look, honestly, one of my things too, right, is like, nigga, fuck all that blaming shit, bro. Because like, where does my blame make me look like a racist? Where does my blame make me look like a sexist? Where does my blame make me like just like a fucking angry person that has a lot of prejudice in his heart and shit? Because if I don't like Europeans, and because they're European, I'm no different than a fucking European don't like black because we're black. It's the same shit. We just switch the fucking positions up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I really believe in like all inclusive, never excluding, universal brotherhood of peace? Do I really believe that? Because if I do, then my thoughts should reflect that. But if my thoughts are about division and divisiveness and like slandering others because I'm kind of angry at some shit that happened to like other people, yeah, I know what's wrong, but am I doing it to other people? No. So do I know what's wrong and do I know what's right? I would hope so. You know what I'm saying? But like the whole I've been contemplating like, you know, my Chris Ivy told me, niggas try to tell me, you're under their control because you pay taxes. I'm like, nigga, I choose to pay taxes, nigga. I'm under my own control. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's nothing wrong with paying taxes. Unless you want to have something wrong with it, then there'll be something wrong with it. So it's all about it's all in the eye of the beholder. And I honestly like what I try to do is like go through this shit where I can find new ways to conquer myself and not be angry at everything, so I can like kind of like, you know, show other people like it can be done. I don't have to fucking be angry every time I see a fucking Caucasian person or a Chinese person or a fat person or a person eating meat if I'm a vegan or a person that's not smoking if I smoke or wear a masker or anti-masker. I don't have to be affected by that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Came up in a little small town in Louisiana. And it almost seemed like, man, the division thing is prevalent everywhere. Because before I could even, you know who I was in the mind, I was prejudiced against white people. And I wasn't necessarily taught that, but our way of life coming up in the country, that's what it was. White folks stayed over here, niggas stayed over here. But I knew something was something was wrong with that from the first time I fucked a white girl. And I don't mean to be vulgar or nothing, but you know, the first time I had sex with a white girl, shit was like, man, it was like, you know, she opened them legs up and I'm like, whoa, you know, this different. And I was struck. But what I'm trying to say is that whole thing about division and keeping us divided, it worked, but to a
Yo, you there?
hear me?
Yeah,
Me?
you was gonna say something.
Hey, go ahead. Let me y'all go ahead. I gotta fix this shit.
For sure. Yeah, but the whole division thing, bro, like it's you know why I use that shit? Like when I'm fucking looking at fucking life like fucking crackers or whatever and shit, is because I'm selfish, bro. That's what it is. Has nothing to do with fucking 700 years ago. Because it has nothing to do with that shit. What it has to do is like I want to have a position. That's all I want is I want to have a position. And if I found out that a whole bunch of people hated people that look just like me because they look like me and they hated me for it, I'm like, well, fuck them then. I'll hate them. I might as well. I've just joined them. I've just joined them and shot. Like I'm keeping this fucking game going. You know what I'm saying? Like there's only so far I can get with fucking. It was the white folks. It was the Europeans. They're aliens. It's the melanin. We need more melanin. Like nigga, if you can bring the most melanated nigga to a basketball game, bro. If that nigga's good, he's good. Got nothing to do with his melanin, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nigga got more melanin eating more hot dogs and shit. It's like we're using these things. Like this is how I feel. I feel like we're using these contexts and concepts because we want that position that we felt that they had over us, that we were inferior somehow. So we're looking for anything that we can use as inferior. They're throwing rocks at us. We're looking for rocks, throwing them back. When we're talking about don't throw rocks, as we throwing them back and shit. And the thing is, like, now there's defense, self-defense, like niggas throwing rocks and try to fucking maneuver and do what you gotta do and take the nigga out, right? But then after he's out, you left, and now you're still throwing rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like you've like that movie Fallen with Denzel Washington. Every time that nigga touched someone else, the spirit went to that person, and shit. And what it is, it's a spirit of selfishness. That I just want my position. I want to look at somebody I can say it's you. You're inferior. White folks are inferior because they said I'm inferior. And it's fucking, to me, it's became bullshit now.
Complete bullshit. I feel the same way. With I was on somewhere and they were saying they said something about Blake Griffin. You know, Blake Griffin and Stephen Curry, them niggas aliens. I'm like, god damn. Yeah, they got that red hair and freckles and shit. I'm like, well, god damn, my mama got red hair. I got 2 kids with red hair. Me and my wife, both of our parents is what you would call so-called natives or Indians or the fucking African Americans, whatever the fuck they want to call us, right? So like, as far as I can look back on both of our side, that's how we was. But we got red people in our family. So what the fuck does that mean?
Bro, nigga told me the same shit, bro. I wanted to fight his ass. He didn't know I was about to fight. Look, nigga, the nigga said white folks are aliens. He said they were robots. Now I was like, so you try to tell me that my son is a fucking robot? And he was like, and when I said like that, it fucking he had no choice in his mind but to defend himself. So he's like, yeah. I'm like, so my son is half me and half my ex-wife. She's a white woman. He's like, well, your son's half robot. I'm like, what the fuck does that look like, nigga? What the fuck does that really look like, nigga? And I want to whoop that nigga. He don't know. I wanted to fucking shock him and shit. But I was at my homie's
Bro,
house.
for real, I mean, like, I wish they would say that to my son. One day, my son, that's who got the red hair, that nigga's a monster, bro. And he will beat the fuck out somebody ass, and I see why. He be like, Dad, they tried me like that in the school, and I had to show him, boy, look, bro, look. I'm gonna show you how dirty I am. I'm gonna show you how white I am, because I'm gonna whoop your ass like your master would. This is the type of shit I tell him. I'm gonna whoop your ass like the white side of my family would then. So I'm gonna whoop your ass just like that.
Yeah, I don't consider them robots, but I consider them hybrids.
I mean, I consider my child to be a hybrid, and you know, she's black and white, so she's a mixture in that sense, you know, a hybrid. But as far as the hybrids mixed with dog, or you know, they go outside, come back in the house smelling like dogs, so they part canine. I can't get with that. The same thing as you are.
Hey, like the big kicker is like I've seen African people and they're hella diverse too. I've seen Asian people, they're hella diverse too. I've seen humans, they usually most of them live on a place called Earth. They're heavily and hella diverse. Matter of fact, hue means spectrum, it means light, it means color. So let's look at that word again. Hue man, color man. So what color are we? We're all colors and stuff. And that's the thing, bro. Like, you don't see that shit with children. You don't see that shit with babies. A 3-year-old, a 4-year-old that believes that another baby, because it's a different color, they're gonna play with that motherfucker.
I give y'all that. Basically, my daughter,
Because
when
they're
she was
babies.
born,
And I
she
think
was
that we could be human.
almost white.
Yeah, and so like, and this is what I think it is, bro. When we talk about the Willie E. Lynch pamphlet, I think that we still, I know I do, I still carry a lot of that fucking biasness today. Like at the end, in our motorcycle club, we just brought the chapter out here from LA with, right? I've got we got a little white dude. His name's Spook, and it's a funny thing because his name is Spook. He white, right? We always fucking like the white boy and shit. We white boy and shit. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't all. We laugh and shit, but sometimes it feels like, why are we doing that? Why are we fuck? Because most of us are black and he's white. You know, it's like we're doing the same thing back, and it's like, man, is that really cool? He's like, nah, not really, but we still do it. You know what I'm saying? I wonder, like, if it was an all white MC and I was the only black guy, how would I feel? Oh, what the fuck you trying to say, homie? You know what I'm saying? But it's not the same when I'm doing it towards a white person, which is that's fucked up. And honestly, bro, look, going with that shit I was reading earlier, I really believe this is what I believe, or I'm starting to consider this. I'll say this. I'm considering that all the crazy shit that's going on in our world, right, in our society, all the things that we knew about the slave trade and slavery and the picking of cotton and fucking Amistad and 12 years a slave and roots and all these things. I believe I'm starting to consider that all that shit was for our purpose, for the men on this panel, for the people that are existing today that are having some kind of awakening towards a different, wanting and needing a different way of living and shit, a different way of believing and seeing and shit, and kind of want to be free from. We want to be free from our history. You know, like we talk about, oh, I want to get back to our indigenous roots. Like, no, nigga, I don't want to live in a fucking teepee, nigga. No, I don't. I don't want to be fucking fishing with my bare ass hands and shit. I don't. I just want to be happy. But if I could be happy doing that, then I guess it wouldn't matter, right? But I want to basically, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to fucking establish a positive, a platform for peace, not have to be like worried about thinking that we were like shitted on and we were fucking inferior and shit. And I think that's why we here today in this land of the Americas.
Man, you know, I wasn't about that whole slavery thing. I just I don't know, it got a bunch of holes in it to me.
Oh yeah.
You know, I know where I come from. You know, I ain't here to say, you know, I'm African or native or bala bala bala. I will say I come from Louisiana, like I said, a small town, and there's a river that run through where I'm from. It's called the Washita River, and my people are called the Washita tribe, if you will. So, I mean, bro, I ain't trying to go back and live. I mean, yeah, I'm proud of who I am, but shit, bro, fuck all that. I ain't trying to do none of that. A bow and arrow. I mean, for sport, yeah, sure, I'll go shoot some targets. But if I had to rely on catching my meal for the night, I'm unhappy. He popped something in this microwave real quick.
Hey, we're going to eat some bear, nigga. You gonna kill a bear, nigga?
Come on, bro. I'm not finna go Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not doing all that.
I hear y'all, my brothers, but it's just sad, the situation that like every other culture can say what they are, but us, we can't even fucking. It's a figment of our imagination, and that's the fucked up part about it. And we're satisfied with it.
Hey, Leo, I think the fucked up part about it is because we want to be like them. We can't even be just who we are. I can't just be Zach Nelson. I'm from California, right? ODB said, my name is ODB, and I'll fuck your ass up. And I'm like, that's some real shit, nigga. Why can't I just be me? You know what I'm saying? I got to be me. I got to be this. I got to be that. And it's like, what am I? It's almost like I'm in full flight from reality. Yeah, and my girlfriend, she's Lithuanian, right? Which is like Norway and shit, somewhere around there, right? And her family goes back really, really far and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's cool, but of course, my family's fucking Asian, African, Haitian, Native American, fucking French and Irish and shit. But I do know that I'm human. You know what? So like, why don't you study humans? What's gonna serve me? What purpose is gonna serve me to like really fucking find my grandfather, my great 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 grandfather's fucking pinky toe? You know what I'm saying? Like, I am who I am, and that's what God said. I am that I am. He was trying to be nobody else but what he was. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, man. Y'all brothers
No,
be easy. I gotta run. I'll be back. Peace.
For sure, for sure.
All right, man.
Yeah, I want to know what you meant by hybrids when you said that earlier.
Like, you know what, bro? I used to think the same type of shit. Like, I was for a while.
Like, look, man, I had to cut you off, but when you look, was you meaning like a person and an animal, or something else?
Man, fucking, I didn't know. Leo said it, but like, that's the thing.
No. I guess you said you used to be in a so I'm generalizing. Is it meant to be a human and an animal, or what?
I would say humans are animals, just a different style of animal. You know what I'm saying? It's like not only one kind of animal. We see, like, we go outside, we see like there's difference in everything we see. Every leaf on a tree is in a different place. Every part of the sky is in a different place and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So I feel that, but what I'm getting at is like a person and a dog. You know, I know we, exist in nature. When we take all the concrete and buildings and shit away and clothes, we're outside. I mean, I feel you on that, but I'm wondering if these people are saying that the hybrid thing is half person, half dog, or like half person, half werewolf.
Like a real Sphinx, nigga, working at Walmart, nigga. Could you imagine you go to Walmart, nigga, and it's a motherfucking Sphinx, it's a greeter, then you like, what the fuck is that, nigga? Just sitting there and shit with a head talking to you and shit with lion legs and shit. Hey, look, sometimes I think something like hybrid is just based on my perception of what I think is right and what I think is wrong. And I remember science says, or I learned in science class that what is it? Diversity is normal. If there was no diversity, that would be abnormal. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it goes back to it, bro. Like the whole white is right and black is not. I'm privy to the history and shit, but it makes me feel some type of way. For a long time of my time, I've felt some type of way. Now I'm actually like, you know, a cop gets behind me, I'll experience some of it and shit. But it's like I don't have to like be going to like that fucking where I become combative and I become angry and fucking unhappy and disgruntled and shit because of what the world thinks or the world thought for a time about who I am as an African American or whatever, bro. I'm not even African, nigga. Like I'm not. I'm a Californian. You know what I'm saying? That's just an imaginary place with imaginary lines and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm also not like I'm not okay with just being me, or not even. I'm not okay with not having an identity and shit. You feel me?
Yeah, that's what I think people are gunning for. They're gunning for an identity, or kind of like you said earlier, they want a position, they want to be a part of something, making excuses to not be them and who they are. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
Bro, I be
I
hearing the
wanted to
same
find
argument.
myself. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead. My bad. That was my bad.
No, no, no. That's you,
No, you better go ahead, bro.
man. This is your show, bro. Go ahead. I'm
All
finna
right,
sip anyway.
I get in. I get in this because y'all gonna both pass it. I get it. Hold on. Look, it's like they don't want to be them, like y'all just said. Um, they go to reading all of these books and reading everything in history, and they don't find them in there, and they don't know that they was who they was. They don't know that I am, right? It's like this, right? Everybody say I did something more than you say your name. You know how you never really use your name unless you're talking to yourself in the third party? It's like,
No, no, no. Right, you
I,
right. You say even
right,
even that little voice inside of you, you say I'm hungry, or I need to get up
right,
so I don't be late for work, or whatever it may be. It's I get you.
right. Well, there's only one I. This why they be scared. They scared to say that they all the all I because they heard that the Illuminati or the all seeing eye. And we all seeing it. It's like I see you. So when you know that you was just man, you be thankful for being who you are, and you know that you are who you are. Like I didn't never, I didn't never question who I was. I didn't. It it almost baffled me when people start saying they didn't know who they was, and they don't know where they came from. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know their father. You know what I'm saying? But I start realizing that some of us was displaced in homes and we was misplaced. So, we might not have known. But at the end of the day, I said, damn, I came from outside of a mama and a daddy somewhere. I came out of I came. When they came, I came. Like, so, and then we like, well, damn, well, why you say did you come? When you said, did you come yet? You're like, yeah, I just came. You're like, when you come somewhere, you going somewhere. You had to come. You had to go. But you came. You can't stop what's coming because I came. I am. I come. I've come. And when they know that you came, they be like, damn. Well then give I a name, give you a name, give it a name. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna name it? It had I and a T in it. It was it before they named it. Before they said it was a boy. It's a boy. It's a girl. It was it.
Hey, bro, that's the thing, right? Is a motherfucker be like, I'll be like, hey man, what is that over there? They be like, oh, it's a tree. I'll be like, well, what is it? They be like, it's a tree. I'm like, no, what is it? And they're like, what do you mean?
It is you. It is you. That's how it is I. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like almost like it's when we say it's almost like what we're doing is like we're project. It's like what he was talking about spelling and casting, right? it isn't something outside of us. It is the one that's defining it. It's the definer. What is it? Oh, it says it's a tree. It tree. You know what I'm saying? Like couch. What is that? Oh, it's a couch. And I'm talking about in a reflection, direct reflection of myself, of what that is. So who's ordaining it? That's like that God body shit. It's like that God power and stuff, you know? And I think like when we're talking about like the people, right? I think that we're just like so desperate and shit. And I understand it though too, to define everything. Because like if we don't have a definition for it, like doesn't technically exist. And if it doesn't exist, then it's like we don't exist. The individual doesn't exist. So we go around fucking defining everything.
Drop be speeding on the highway and he don't never put his seatbelt on. Put your damn seatbelt on. Drop got a seatbelt on his motorcycle.
Nigga, you be riding on top of the car. You be on top of the car when I'm doing 90 miles an hour up the E-way.
Like Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox. Doing flips and shit on top of the car.
Nigga turning flips on the bus and shit. Need a fresh shave.
He be standing on the surfboard mounted to the car and shit. He the coldest.
With some dreads. Nigga got some goddamn.
Burning sage.
Hey, nigga be like E.T. riding the basket.
Oh, so now let's think about that though. They were showing us that Teen Wolf, like he had an animal nature inside of him. He can transform. He was morphing. They were showing us then, and his mom and daddy, they was wolves, man. They was literally wolves. So like, what was they telling us? Did they say that we transform and we can become like animals, or we can eat meat? We had canine teeth.
Shit, we eat air too. We eat
Right.
sight. We eat sound.
You kill it. If you kill it, you
A
can eat
serial
it,
killer.
man. No, fresh kill is different from livestock. Livestock, the motherfucking animals go through hell, and then when you eat that shit, you develop their consciousness or the stress they went through. Live kill is sudden, and the meat actually tastes different, but farm meat is completely different. But you know, I'm not saying go kill animals and shit. What I'm saying is this shit that we eating is bred animals versus animals that's in the wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real shit. Clean kill. They're relaxed. So what you're eating is relaxed. It ain't cooped up, waiting in line for that air gun, to hit that temple, so they can, have the same thing happen to them. What happened to their cousin, so they in there nervous, panicky and shit. Yeah, I get that.
Shit, but I'm still trying to figure out the oath thing. Back to that. Now listen, what would make you want to hold a secret from the people? Big yourself up.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. I ain't took an oath, but I know if an oath is something as simple as a secret. My daughter tell me a secret, or one of my good friends tell me a secret. It's not going nowhere outside of me. If you know what I mean. If I'm gonna get with the question, it's a secret you told me. It's like you trusted me with that, so it's gonna stay with me. I ain't gonna tell nobody, especially people or the people. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Hey,
No, I'm
like the
saying
thing.
like, no,
Hey,
hold
for me,
on.
it's like
Yeah,
if it's a
yeah, man.
if
Like
it's
I
a
told my
secret.
homie.
Y'all
My bad.
niggas gonna try to defend it. No, listen.
No, hold on. It's like
We
this. Bob.
talking about this secret. No, what it's like is this. It's like the secret that these people can really help the people though. It ain't like it's a secret, a bad secret. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody you pregnant. No, it's a secret that can really change the world that's being kept. And y'all keep tootsie footing around this shit. And then every time I bring it to y'all attention, y'all dance around it. I be like, yeah, cool. But I'm about to start pressing y'all niggas trying to take these dumbass oaths. And I'm gonna keep it one band with all you fucking Mason searchers, all you goddamn wannabe Hebrew Israelites, all you motherfucking Africans, all these fucking oaths that y'all taking. I'm about to start pressing y'all, bro, because it's retarded now. Now it's
Hey,
all about power.
hey, drop.
Yeah.
Hey, well, hold up real quick. Hey, real quick, Huey. So, like, the funny thing is, like, if I haven't taken the oath, right, then how do I know it's for the betterment of humanity? Like, if I don't know the oath, then how do I know it's good or bad, or if that there is it even exists, right? Now, the thing is, like, if like people are keeping a secret from people, then how do the people find out the secret? So if somebody knows, that means like if I know I'm a person, I took the oath or an
It's
oath,
not exactly. What
then
it
like
is ain't nobody exposing it when they find it out. That's the exactly part. So now,
So I
hey,
can say the
I'm
secret has been
hold on.
exposed.
Hold on. How I'ma know if I don't take it, right? And then when I do know, I still don't tell you motherfuckers. So it's the same thing. Well, go ahead.
but it's like the thing is like if other people know and they're like, well, how'd you find the oath out? Then like, oh, well, this is what I did. If anybody else wants to know, then they should just go find out. So they can at least like put that shit to rest. Like, oh, now I know it, and they're like, oh, and then you can go to all these different orders. You'll find out there's different oaths. You're like, well, I thought this was the oath, and it was like the oath is personal.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. And then you gonna press. You pressing. You know, full court press defense, right? If you're gonna try to stop the offense to score, right? So pressing, like the press on the news, you got the press, and they become it get depressing, right? So when you get depressing, you become the oppressor because you're oppressing though. You're oppressing. So like while you're oppressing, you become the same thing that you're going against, which is the oppressor, by saying and passing judgment for something that you don't know about. So then when you go find out about it, you have to say that you was wrong and you have passed judgment upon all of these people with just a misunderstanding and your lack of knowledge of something.
I mean, the bad thing is, right, is that a nigga can tell you the oath, and you can't even prove if it's the oath or not. That's the worst part about it. Is like,
Right, because if he tell us right now, how you gonna know it's the truth if you don't go in there? Still, he can tell you, nigga, we you know, I got some head from 3 chicks, nigga. Then what you gonna say? You gonna say you want to, but then what if the chicks when you went in was chickens? See?
damn, chicken heads, right? Well, look, it's like if we look at the oath, right, and I think that it's a word. It causes a hang up for the mind. It's like, so you're telling me that you have this information, right? And you can't tell me the information. So if you don't tell me the information, then you're doing something wrong. Like, nigga, somebody told me the information too, but I had to go and want it. I had to go and ask. You know,
It's
how do
like,
I find out? How do I find out? And now I found out. I was like, oh, shit. Right. I got you.
It's like
Yeah,
this.
because if it's a secret, how did he find out? He had to go in there and somebody had to let him know. So it can't be a secret if he had to go in there and he found out. He just had to go knock on the door.
I mean, it's like you ain't gonna be able to find out what it feel like to fuck a chick unless you fuck a chick. Like, there's no way somebody can like tell you how it feels.
They go to
You would never know what Pizza Hut tastes like if you don't eat Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut could be a secret society. If you ain't never ate in the restaurant, say you riding down the street and you see Taco Bell. Taco Bell is a secret society. If you don't go inside there and see what's going on in there, it's a whole world in there.
All right, here's what the fuck I'm saying. I'm saying on the side I stand on, fuck y'all secret. You understand that part? Because I'm not begging you to, well, please tell me, man. It's like, fuck it. I'm saying, why would you take that stand on that side? Me personally, if I know some dope shit for the people, I'm going to tell it to them. On that end, well, I know it and you don't. So it's like, fuck all y'all. At that point, I don't know what y'all trying to justify or how y'all trying to clean it up. There's no point. You either want to be on that side or the people. You can't be on both. What side you standing on? Period.
Hey, and that's why I said drop. Like, if anybody really
Who
wants to
told
know,
you that,
like,
though,
only
Drop?
one way to verify it for yourself. Like, the thing is, look, if it is a secret, like I said, if it's a secret that can change the world just by saying a few sentences and stuff, the world changes. I mean, that's like it doesn't even make sense almost like some Infinity Stone ass fucking magic wish shit, right? But if all these people know the oath and the world isn't changing, that means that the oath has nothing to do with the world as a whole.
Right, but you in a party. You in a party. Everybody whispering each other's ears something, and they don't tell you. Why the fuck you still at that party? Fuck they party. And I'm out, bro.
You're right. Get the fuck on up out of there.
Good. And that's my whole stand on it.
Or they gonna get your ass. They gonna get on your ass.
Man, they ain't fucking die. Man, ain't nobody getting on me because I know
they ain't gonna do shit. They gonna dive in. They gonna dive into your ass. They gonna dive into your guts.
What you know,
you want somebody
more
to put a foot in your ass. You trying to worry about it. You trying to worry about revenge. Listen. Hey, listen. Hey, put it in my ear. Put it in my. Hey, listen. Come whisper in my ear. Put your tongue in your ear.
Let me dress.
What if they wasn't? Hold on. What if you thought that they was whispering and they was licking each other in their ears all around the world? Say, look, I licked you in your ear. Lick the next person in their ear. And drop. You gonna be mad because they didn't lick your ear, bro. That's weird.
No, I'm not gonna be mad at nothing. I said fuck what they doing. I ain't say I was mad at it.
Yeah, you are. You concerned. You worried. You said, well, why didn't nobody lick my ear? If they whispering to everybody else, thought that was whispering, but they wasn't whispering. They was licking each other in the ear. They said this was the thing we do over here. We lick everybody in the ear. And you came in there and you was wondering why y'all niggas was licking each other in the ear, and now you mad.
You gonna keep talking? I ain't said shit like that, cuz. I said I don't give a fuck what they doing over there. If they ain't gonna tell me what the fuck they doing. You turned it to licking ears, bro. I don't know what that shit means. What I'm telling you is, if you and fucking mental ninjas having a conversation, I walk up and y'all be like, hold on, bro. This between me and him. It's fuck y'all conversation, bro. I'm not gonna be mad or happy. It's fuck what y'all talking about. It's obvious.
Yeah, it is. And we told you fuck what you talk about. We in the middle of something right now. We was talking and you came and you was mad because we didn't break our stride and hear what you was saying. You came and tried to tell us that the niggas around the corner just got in a shootout. And we said we didn't give a fuck. We was talking about these bitches that we was finna go fuck. We weren't trying to hear that. We was finna fuck with some hoes. And you mad. And you mad because it was only two bitches there. Hold on, bro. You mad because it was only two bitches there. It wasn't enough for you. And we was like, this nigga be drunk. We don't want that nigga hanging with us. because these bitches
No,
don't drink. They some church girls. They some church girls, and they want to talk about the Bible. So we going over here, and we like, drop. Just hold on a minute, bro. We know we rock with you, nigga. You from the hood. We fuck with you, nigga. Chill out, nigga. But we finna go fuck with these bitches, and you got mad. Oh, fuck y'all niggas, man. Fuck y'all niggas. Y'all ain't gonna tell me. It's the same shit like I just told you, nigga.
Can you let me interrupt? It ain't,
Go ahead.
it ain't hold on, drop. It's fuck with, you're not gonna know what we talking about, and we got the secrets. And when you come over here and we telling each other the game, when I come around, you shut the fuck up, and then you be like, man, well, listen, you didn't take set that oath trash up. There's no way you
Okay,
can
cool.
dress.
So me and Mental Ninja, we finna go hit a lick. This nigga told me that he know a safe.
Bro,
this nigga told me that he know where a safe at, and all we had to do is go rob the niggas. You came over. We already know before. We didn't ask you before. He's like, hey, bro, you want to go do this thing with us? You like, you gotta tell us. You like, nigga, just come, nigga. You gonna find out when we get there. You said, nah, nigga, let me know. We like, well, fuck it then, nigga. You be trying to know too much information, nigga. You want to go get this bag with us or not? What I gotta do to get it? What I gotta do to get it? Nigga, just ride, nigga. And you didn't want to ride.
Listen, bro. I said y'all two niggas was talking. I walk out like, what's up, Huey? Hold on, man. Me and him got something going on, man. La 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 la. Go, yeah, la la la. So when I look at y'all and you say that, I'm not mad nor happy. It's fuck what y'all talking about. When I say fuck what you talking about, that doesn't mean I'm mad, happy, nor sad. It's literally fuck you and then at that point. So once it's fuck you, that's no feeling. I can give a fuck what you weird ass niggas talking about under y'all dumb
That's what I'm talking about. So why we gotta be weird ass niggas when you just mad? Hold on. Why do we gotta be weird ass niggas? Hold on.
Weird ass niggas, because it's weird to me. But you said I was mad.
Okay, so if we told you, I'm asking you a question, Drop. If I told you what we was talking about, would we still be weird?
What made y'all weird is not telling me.
Okay, cool. So if I told you, I wouldn't be weird. So I told you, Drop. You came over. You said, what y'all was talking about? I said, listen, bro. Hold on, man. Listen, bro.
You won't even tell your.
Listen, bro. You
Hey,
said
I'm gonna ask a question real quick. Hey, check this out, y'all. Hey, hold on, check this out. Hey, are you guys for or against privacy?
Privacy.
Yeah. Like if I'm having a conversation with somebody, like how would you like, okay, let's say me would Drop, or me and Drop, we're having a conversation and we look at Huey, the nigga just stared at us, like stared at our mouths and shit. You like, what the fuck wrong with this nigga? And we turn our sides to continue our conversation, and like, does it mean we're keeping something from him that's like some kind of evil act?
If you and Huey talking about, yeah, it's a bomb in a motherfucking thing. We got like 3 minutes to get out of here. Then I walk up and you be like, no, matter of fact, I'm your son. And I walk up, your daughter, your damn mama, nigga. And I walk up and you still can't tell me it's a bomb in the back. Nigga, that shit fake as hell. And I don't care how y'all dress it up, nigga. It's fake as hell, bro. Y'all holding truth from the people. There's no way around it. I can give a fuck what oath you took. If you can't tell me, fuck your oath.
All right, but look, got quiet. Like, did we do anything wrong? Or is it like this? Is it maybe that we as a people are afraid or don't like when we think that something's being held from us, so we'll start creating what is being held? Like, literally, think about it. If I wasn't in the order and I took the oath, right? And if there's some special information that makes me like fucking able to dunk from half court or change the world and shit, that's like not about the oath itself. It's about me that's going to do the changing or the work to be able to dunk as far as I could or not be able to, right? Maybe the oath, if I learned it and I went to find it out, like my thing is like, bro, if anybody else wants to know, like, this is what I did so I can find out. And if you're afraid, then just don't go. I get it. But if you're like, you know, well, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. Man, I just got off work. You're like, okay, well, it can't be that bad. It's more to be like
Let me get y'all the
that we have fears. And we're like assuming that it has to be something good they're keeping from us. And the reason I would say that it has to be something good they're keeping from me because am I so selfish that I think that if something's important, I keep it for myself, won't nobody else get it? That's the thing that we consider, bro. Like it's not even that serious at all. They're gonna make that shit like it's important. Like the oath is important for me because this is my credibility. This is my ability to be trusted. Like I don't want people to keep remembering me as like a nigga that can't be trusted. He'll steal from you. He'll lie to you. You don't leave nothing important around him. He can't be trusted. Nothing valuable or say or it's important. You know what I'm saying? But like today, people can trust me with things. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like you can leave me in your house. I'm not gonna go through your shit. You know, and that's what the oath means to me. For other people, it makes it like they're gonna take the oath, like, oh shit, and act like they know something special. When all you learned was what they told you. And then the thing is, like, anybody can learn it. You just got to go through the same process.
Now, here's what I'm telling you. It's not just the oath that y'all holding back. That is the oath. Everything you ever know, you got to hold back.
I mean, literally, it's not as bad, like,
all right,
it's not as bad as we're fucking, like, in our heads, we're like in a catastrophe or fantasy. It's like, oh my God, they're having a meeting. They must be plotting on my demise.
How much
like,
more
really,
would our people
I used to smoke meth. I used to think the same shit about niggas on the bus. You know,
I got
like,
how many
not took the oath. And when you go to the Masons, it's a different oath.
Niggas you go to the fucking
the fucking Rosicrucians, it's a different oath. But it all means something to the individual in their position in it.
It's sad.
It's like they're learning things to change the world or save humanity. It's learning, hopefully, to change yourself and save humanity from experiencing a negative, bad person.
They're not gonna even let you say shit, bro. It's the same game plan. I've been in the same fight every time. When I bring up the secrets they can't even tell their own mama, and the only secret is they don't know nothing more than we know. That's the secret. Instead of just saying that, man, we don't know nothing more than y'all know, bro. We be learning just like y'all. They act like they got this prestigious teaching. Nigga, y'all don't know nothing else nobody else don't fucking know. And I'm tired of y'all. All right, cool.
Well, I don't know what's going on with panel and shit, but
I feel like
I'm about to go.
Like that, though,
so I'm hungry and shit. But I'm going to read this real quick, right? This is from a song by a rapper named Apathy. It's called The Spell Book. It's off his The Widow's Son album and shit. And yeah, Apathy, he's now a Mason and shit. But at the end of the song, he has a quote by Manly P. Hall from one of his lectures. And it says this: every religious, mystical, and philosophical sect has had exactly the same difficulty from the beginning of time, where it is the person who really believes that the esoteric truths of life are some kind of secret, that it is possible to find the key, buy it, steal it, beg it, borrow it, through some way to get it, and that by means of this key, we can suddenly unlock the shut door of the palace of the king. So like basically like, look, if anybody really wants to learn something, they're going to set themselves on a course to learn it. If they don't want to learn something, they're going to set themselves on a course to not learn it. Either way, it's going to take rigorous and vigorous work to learn what you want to learn, or to make sure you learn what you want to learn, or to make sure you don't learn what you don't want to learn. And that's like the nature of reality. Like there is no special ultimate secret for the world. But I'll say this: there is a special ultimate secret for the individual.
Let me give drop
but
the
it's
answer,
only
bro.
for the individual to work with himself.
That was fire.
Regardless of all, everybody's still equal under the sun.
No, I can accept that.
Hey, the secret is this drop.
But
Guess
like,
what the biggest
like
secret is, bro? I'm gonna tell you, bro.
Anybody else go live and shit, I'll be back. When I get back, I'll jump on your shit. But hey, peace drop, peace Leonardo, peace Huey, and peace
Hey, let me hit this last little gem real quick, Mental Ninja.
I think next time what I'll do is I'm just gonna record the next chapter and shit, and I'm just gonna upload it. And then like, so if y'all wanna listen to it on your own or whatever, that's cool. It's probably like 20, 15, 20 minutes for each chapter and shit. And consider it on your own, you know what I'm saying? But that's it. Peace everybody. And I'm out.
Mommy.